Okay, Rabbi Sai, welcome back. Long break, Tuesday night shiur. The truth is today, honestly, be'emet, I didn't want to do a shiur. I have a lot of personal things going on that I have to take care of. It's the summer's man. The summer's man is where the Yetzer Hara starts to build up. You know, the Yetzer Hara, all the schmutz, it affects everybody. It doesn't just affect you, it affects me too. I wanted to, just stay home, do my learning, relax, be with Rabbi Rachamim over here on the phone a little bit. He is my business partner. We a lot of kedusha in physical and spiritual things we do together. Like it's tzfat soon, very, very soon. B'ezrat Hashem, say amen. And but I said, since people confronted me and said, you're going to go to Gehenna if you're not going to make a shiur, I was like, if that's the only reason why I'm going to Gehenna, I'm not that bad. I'm really not that bad. But we have to do shiur Torah. No? Imagine you go to Shemayim, they say you're all clean. You just didn't give shurim, so you have to go to Gehenna. So this is what it is. Yesterday was a nice wedding. I went to a nice wedding yesterday. It was a nice kosher wedding, Givaldic wedding. Baruch Hashem, right? You were there also, right? It's a nice wedding. Yeah, I saw you. You were eating all the food from the table. Givaldic.
Lunch.
L'simcha, Rebbe. L'simcha. While we pay, you guys are munching out. This is called a good Jew. I love it. It's a smart Jew. It's okay, a little roasting here and there. You don't get it in a long time. You've been back from Israel for a long time. No one roasted you. Okay. Parashat Chukat. The red heifer. Before we start, today I want to do a little different signon style. I want you guys to ask me any question. We're gonna go. You said you don't want the camera, right? You said without the camera it's more spicy. Today I told you that even with the camera I'm gonna make it spicy for you. We'll just debate if we should post it or not after. So we'll do it like that. Ask me a question. Let's go, Mr. Navon.
I'll need a minute for that.
You need a minute. Gaon. Look at that. He's a Gaon. He needs a minute.
Let's do some other questions.
No, anyone. Candino. Certainly they think when it's on the camera, imagine every second of our life we're getting recorded. And we don't think.
I have a question on Kosher itself.
1 second, and we don't think. We don't think. No, while we live our day. We get upset, we get mad, we do averot. We don't think. This camera's on. Everyone's thinking 6 times, what should I say? It shouldn't look like a toy. That camera's on 24/7. And not only in physical, also in our machshava it's recording. Imagine, but not imagine, it's going to happen. One day we will all pass. We will go in Shamayim. They're going to have a lot of screens. One of the screens is going to be the thought process. Every time someone passes by, what you were thinking about. Every time you had a conversation. Every time you were in the restroom. Everything you ever thought about, bang, bang, comes out. 3D show. Not 1D. 3D! All the angles, everything. Person, all his life has to have in mind that there's a camera watching you. Every single second, hazak ve'emat. Every single second he has to have in his mind, someone's watching me. Why? That makes you have Yirat Shamayim. Yirat Shamayim.
You always get busy though. Forget.
Why? Because it's not important for you. If someone chas v'shalom has not on anyone, if someone has a disease, as busy as he gets, he always remembers what? He's sick. How come he doesn't forget it? Because right now for him, his worriness, his importance is the fact that he is, Rachmana litzlan, he's sick. If in our mind, we don't have 24/7, Hashem, Kodesh Baruch Hu, Torah mitzvot, then we won't get off track. The fact that it's not in our head, that's why it goes and wanders. We only need Hashem when we only think about Hashem when we need Hashem. Why is that? Why do we do that to ourselves? We cause the pain to ourselves. But if in your mind 24/7, it doesn't make a difference how much you keep Torah mitzvot, how less you keep Torah mitzvot. I don't like to use the word religious. That's a word that the European, the Reform Europeans threw upon the Jews. You're a Jew, you have to keep Torah mitzvot. Some keep it more than others. That's it. We're all Jewish. The more you come to have Yirat Shamayim, fear of Hashem, not fear of hell. Not fear of hell. You're not supposed to be scared of hell. You're supposed to be ashamed that you're doing a blemish in this world when you don't do Torah mitzvot. That's where your Yirat Shamayim has to be. That's where it has to be. Oh my God, I'm unsatisfying HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the greatest Yirat Shamayim. The greatest, the epitome of all. Do you have the question now? I think I gave you 5 minutes, no?
You have a little more time.
Oh, you need a little more time. Look at that. Okay, what's your question? You can ask about the parsha. I don't guarantee. I wanted more of a hashkafic question, but Zrob, fire away.
On the parsha, on the parsha.
Whatever you want, my brother. Whatever you desire.
What made the
1 second. You got your food? You ate already? Okay, I was going to tell you to go wash, eat. Go ahead.
What made the Meraglim, their leaders, all the 10 tribes?
So last we're jumping back to
Last week.
to Shlach. Okay,
No,
Shlach.
yeah.
No. Last week actually was Korach. 2 weeks ago. Go ahead.
Why did the Meraglim that were leaders of the 12 tribes,
Mm-hmm.
very high position people that have a lot of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
that knows what right and wrong, what made them go ahead and see that, oh, they saw the giants in Israel, they were scared, now they want to have some way of saying that, oh, we shouldn't go to another Israel. But didn't they see things from Mitzrayim, from Matan Torah? What made them now say a whole different story that's completely contradicting their emunah, what they have?
Let me just repeat the question for everyone, including the people that are watching. Michal asked over here, how come such great people of stature, these people had major Yirat Shamayim. I want you to understand that. Don't think for a second that the 10 spies were takoi phony baloney. Really, it's 12. But don't look at them like a phony baloney people. They were Nisiim. They were giants. How come they themselves already had the machshava, the thought process? Even this thought process was even before they went to Eretz Yisrael. How come they already came in with a negative approach? How come they weren't excited to go to Eretz Yisrael? I was in Eretz Yisrael a couple of months back. I went to Rabbi Rachamim over here. The spies didn't have that feeling. He's still high from it. Ask any yeshiva bachar that was there for a year. He comes back and wants to kill himself. What am I doing in this country? I hate it here. I want to run away. No, you went to Eretz Yisrael or you didn't go? You went for a year? For a little bit? Yeah. That feeling of, this country is disgusting. Just the trees, when you go look outside, it's disgusting. Suddenly you go, you just want to go back. You have this, I want it. It boils in you. The spies didn't have that. So then what was the pshat that they didn't want to go there? Where's the Yirat Shamayim? Why didn't they want?
Because they knew they had to leave.
They knew they had to
Leave.
leave what?
Leave the place.
So what? They left the desert. They go to the land. What's the problem with
No, I
that?
think they were scared they're gonna have to leave Eretz Yisrael. They didn't want to get the feel and tease themselves. It's such a good feel and Hashem gets them to get out. Maybe that?
I never saw that before. It could be a good shot, but I never saw. I'll tell you what I've read and what I was mekabel from my Rebbe. See, going into Eretz Yisrael means what?
Let's keep them close.
Means you have responsibility. People, when they are in elementary school and high school, they don't see the beauty and value in going to yeshiva and going to school. Why? You really have no responsibility besides going there on time and doing your work. Once you leave high school, what happens to you? You get a nice kick in the tuchas. Reality just smacks you. Stop! What happened? You have to make money. You have to have your own responsibility. You got to get a job. You have to pay rent. You have to pay your car. Automatically, what happens? You have to get married. what happens to people, especially in this generation? Like this. Oh my God, what do I do? I have to go to work? I don't want to go to work. A responsibility? Who needs that? I was chilling. I was like in my mother's stomach. The spies, the Meraglim knew they're going to go to Eretz Israel. No more money. No more easy life. They have to work hard. They only wanted the Shefa to come down. They didn't want to work hard for their keep. That was their sin. The punishment, the action that they decided to take was the fact that they didn't want to work hard. And this is the same thing in this generation. I'm amazed by the youth. I'm amazed by the laziness. It's unbelievable. Do you understand you live in a generation when everyone is... They're not tupi, they're baini. They're crazy, they're mental. If all of you guys would use your heads, you would conquer this country. You have a whole bunch of kuntes running around, running this country. You know what I'm telling you? You have a whole bunch of gay people, sorry for my language. You have a whole bunch of crazy people running this country, making money off nothing. People are making money off air in this generation. Air, by doing nothing. And instead, we decide to be part of that air movement. The problem, we're just like them. We don't want to work hard. We want everything easy, Rabbi. Rabbi, I'll do some stock picks, I press some buttons, I make millions of dollars. Okay. I'll do Amazon drop shipping. Yeah, there's nothing to do. I take one item, I'll link it to my, TikTok, and I'll make money. All right, I'll just post the car and the customers are going to flow to me. No, Habibi, no. Listen, business doesn't work that way. If you don't mashkia, if you don't put effort, if you don't hustle, you're not there 24/7, you're not thinking about it, you're not praying about it, you're never going to grow. The spies didn't want that. Everything is too chilled over here. We're chilling. We're in the desert. We have Ananei Kavod. We have the man. Who needs Israel? Who needs Eretz Israel? Not Israel. That's Zionism. Who needs Eretz Israel? Who needs it? I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want it. And that's our problem. We have the same problem. We have to fix that. How do we fix that? Embrace responsibility. Embrace it. Why in this generation people are not popping out kids? They're only popping out dogs. You wanna know why? It's not that hard to raise a dog. You give him a bone or something, you give him some food, takes care of himself, they clean his gavno, I don't know how people do that. They clean his garbage and they call it a day. Pay me, I won't pick up a dog's crap. Pay me, I won't do it. It's disgusting. Kids? Oh, Rabbi, I'm too young to have kids. I'm going to raise someone. Oh, you're scared of responsibility. Time to grow up, my friend. That was the problem of the spies.
How can they have such a calculation saying that, we're going to just stay here? What, Hashem's not going to say anything, or you have to go?
You're asking a question on their emunah.
On their calculation of not going to Israel and saying we're just going to chill here and have a little blessing. How are they going to make such a calculation when they know they have to go and they don't? There's going to be a consequence.
It's the same thing when a person has a certain responsibility. I'll give you an example. So you work in a store, right? You work in a pizzeria. And in the beginning you were like a soldier. But then you got very good acquainted with the boss. And he starts to like you. What happens then? You heard that? You heard what he just said? You start to take advantage. You take advantage. Oh, don't worry, God. How people in the gym say, me? God is my boy. Yeah, we got it. He understands me. In Gan Eden, we're going to be smoking J's together. Have you lost your brain? Are you on planet Earth? Where are you? Which land are you? God doesn't. This is not for you, Jet Kisad. This is you don't pass away and see the end soul. It doesn't happen. Rabbi said, when you die, you don't see God. You don't see Him. It's impossible. You're light years away from him. In his essence, in his core. He's everywhere, bud. Where we get too comfortable. Excuse me. How is it that right after the splitting of the sea, they start complaining? Same thing. We get too comfortable. We don't know how to appreciate the good that we have in front of us. A human being only knows how to complain and doesn't know how to say thank you.
Why are we built?
We're built that. I'll tell you. Albert Einstein one time made a experiment in his class. He was teaching math. He made like 100 problems, and out of 100 problems, he made one mistake, and everyone started criticizing him. And he looked at them and he said, "How come you didn't say kol hakavod for all the good I did? I did 99 correct. Why that one wrong you guys criticizing me on?" Because in our mind, the way we cause ourselves to structure is to look at the negative. We have to change that. We have to change that. We have to look at the positive. Tell me all the good about the person. When you change your structure of how you think about others, automatically you start to live a happier life. You start to live a more productive life. You start to live a more successful life. To always dwell and focus on the negative, and we have this because of the Zoma of the Nachash, which we're not going to talk about right now. But since we always think about the negative, it affects the way of our structure of how we live. And that affects how we look at on our parents. That's the way how it affects how we're going to look at our wife. It's going to affect how we look at our kids, and so on and so forth. The chain never breaks. The chain never breaks until someone gets up and says, "I'm breaking the chain." You specifically, right? You want to treat your kids the way you were treated? Yes or no? No, right? You have to break the chain now. If you don't break the chain, you're going to repeat the same thing. Remember what I'm telling you. Because that's the only way you know. The only way you'll change is by learning a different way. And it starts over here. If over here you don't change it, you want that communist kind of chinuch that you got to your kids, that negativity, that guilt, you know that guilt? Everything is through guilt. You know that? That guilt, you know that guilt way? Nah, it's not a right way. It's trauma. It's trauma. You live off through trauma.
So how do you teach your kids?
No, you teach yourself. You're wrong. Right. This is a typical way of thinking. How do you teach? No. Teach yourself. When you change yourself, automatically what leaks out of you, you can't take a bottle of vinegar and put and start and open the bottle and then pour it and say, "Oh, why is that water not coming out?" Because the bottle is vinegar. You're the vinegar. You have to change that. So you how do I change it?
Yeah, but remember, let's say kids go to school, then they find somebody out from school.
Well, wait. Let me tell you something. I want to tell you something about that. When a kid has a proper discipline, that means when I say discipline, I mean his chinuch, the way he's raised, if it's proper, the kid will be almost impossible to be convinced to do something that he doesn't want to do. 99.9% of girls that are HOs, right, is because there's a problem in that household. We call it daddy issues in this generation, and that's correct. Because the way trauma leaks out, you need to have a traumatic state of mind in order to do something very traumatic. This is a fact. This is not bubble mices. This is a fact. How come successful kids, when you look at a successful child, what makes him successful? The way he was disciplined. The way his parents raised him. Was he entitled? Or did he get his tuchas, work hard, be driven? Do you understand the difference? But if you have a kid, parents are successful, and the kid was grown to be, he was raised to be laid back.
What?
Laid back, it's gonna be okay, it's all nice. What's gonna happen to that kid?
Done.
He's finished. Who was the creator of that monster? Father and mother. structure, discipline. If you didn't get that right discipline from your parents, again, I'm not blaming anyone, I'm not telling you did or you didn't. I'm just saying in general, you have to do it to yourself. You have to do it to yourself. You must do it to yourself. I'm a very big supporter in doing things that are uncomfortable. A very big supporter of it. It's not this social media thing, it's a fact. It changed my life, it can change your life. If it's taking cold showers, if it's waking up early, if it's exercising, if it's learning, if it's changing your diet, if it's making structure in your life. I'm a very structural person. You need to have structure in your life. If you don't have structure, you're nothing. You're zero. Judaism is built on structure. You wake up, you wash your hands, you say Brachot HaShachar, you use the restroom. Structure, Shacharit, learning Torah, going to work, Mincha. Again, Judaism is built on structure. You can't say, oh Rabbi, you're too much. No, I'm not too much. Our whole day is around structure. Before you go to sleep, you have to do before you go to sleep, you have to do Kriyat Shema L'Mitah. If you're up until before after Chatzot, you have to do Brachot HaShachar, Tikkun Chatzot, you have to learn. Then you go to bed. Structure, order. You don't have that, you're not any different. Even I can't even tell like an animal. Even animals have structure. Hashem created us that way. We have to have structure. But if you have a person, he goes to work whenever he wants. He puts on film whenever he wants. He keeps kosher whenever he wants. What's going to be for that person? He's a blob. The guy's a blob. He's a walking blob. But he's all bubbly all day. Takui bubbly. He's hiding his real feelings. You need structure. You need that. It saves a person mentally and physically. We don't have that because we live in the woke generation. We don't have to be rainbows. We have to love each other. Love each other. What is this? Walking with the rainbow flag? Rabbi Rachamim. You saw that guy I sent you with the long payot walking with the rainbow flag?
I want to make the headlines when I see him.
You know what I mean? What is this nonsense? This is called Judaism. This is disgusting. The Rambam says you have to hate that kind of person. Hate his action. He's a Baal Chotel Machti Tarabim. He does something megoneh. He does something disgusting in the eyes of Hashem. It's disgusting. What is this? And we have to accept these people? Accept what? Yeah, he's a Yid. He should be Choser B'Tshuva. But his actions make him disgusting. He's an abomination.
What if you see one in public?
You don't do anything. What are you going to do? You're going to go kill this person? You can't kill a person. Maybe if you see him, say, let's talk about it. Where did it go wrong in your life? You know what I mean?
Maybe they're born with it though.
You know what I mean? They're not born with it. Calm down. They are, and they're not. I don't want to get into this topic. If I really don't, maybe on another day, maybe when we get to Parshat Pinchas, when we talk about how Zimri and Kozbi, Balak, how everything happens, and that either next week or the week after, maybe we'll talk about this topic. This week we're talking about Para Aduma, the red heifer. The red, beautiful hair. You said the red heifer. I see your redness. The red heifer. The red heifer is not red. What people think. It's an earth color. It's like brown. It's because that's the lashon they use. You never saw a actual red cow walking around. They're not red. They're light brown. Everything. His eyes, his eyelashes, everything has to be red. Before we get into it, any questions? You have another one? Ask another one. Just Roman, go. Don't be shy.
Rabbi was saying how messed up this generation is. Does that have to do anything with, I heard that one of the reasons the world was created because Hashem wants a selection process. So does that mean most of the neshamot that are here are just here and like...
No. Let me explain something to you. The Ari brings down, you can see it in the Otzot Chaim right in the beginning. Hashem created this world to give to the creation, to do good to the creation, to be a Baal Rachum V'Chanun. Hashem created this world in order for him to give. I'm not going to get into that details, a huge big sugya. I'm not going to get into it right now. But when Hashem created this world, He created it in its pure perfectness. Perfectness. Until Adam Rishon came, and did what he did. He ate from the Etz Hadat, Tovera. We're not going to get into what that actually means, but he ate. He ate from the Etz Hadat. That eating from the Etz Hadat caused him to have a blemish. And in that moment, since we are the Yotzei Chilatzo, since we are his offspring, he caused a blemish to his offspring until the end of days. Take it. He caused a blemish to his offspring until the end of days.
It was not supposed to happen.
What's supposed to, what's not supposed to, we're not getting, of course, in essence, it was supposed to happen because it happened.
Not because it happened, because it's like, I asked someone the same question before. The rabbi said that Hashem gave the choice. It's just, he gave a better choice that he knows the person's going to pick.
Adam Rishon, according to the Mekubalim, Adam Rishon knew what he was doing. I want to explain something to you. You know, we have a problem. What's the problem? We like to compare people. The Pirkei Avot says, black and white, don't ever compare, don't ever judge your friend until you're in his shoes. What's the pshat? You'll never be in his shoes, so you can never judge him. Never. You will never be in his shoe, he will never be in your shoes. Impossible. So you can never judge him. Adam Rishon was made by God. Do you know what I'm telling you? I don't think we cannot fathom this thought process. He was structured by God himself.
No, I'm not saying I'm judging you.
No, I want you to understand who we're talking about.
Is that all of us though?
For us, no, we come out.
Oh, man.
It's different. He was actually structured by God. Structured by God himself. For us to compare our thought process and his thought process is a huge mistake.
That's thought process. It's how Hashem wanted.
Now, of course, it happened. And since it happened, we have to say that that's what Hashem wanted. Because it happened. And that's it. Did Adam Rishon, in his Madrega, did he have a choice?
Yeah.
For him, he had a choice. Of course he had a choice. That's not the question.
What I really wanted to ask is, why in this generation we see that it's at such a level that people that are even, I'm not even talking about the non-religious people, I'm saying whatever people that are Shomer
Torah Mitzvot?
it's like messed up in that.
Okay, so
It's
we
like,
have...
why
No, we have a wrong understanding what means keeping Torah Mitzvot. I'm gonna...
They do the routine.
No. I'm
I'm
gonna explain to you. I'm gonna explain something to you. I want to explain something. I love the question because I always talk about this 24/7. There's a big difference between a robot and a human being. We have a idea that a person is considered an observant Jew if he does the Torah mitzvot, and we have to break that. Keeping Torah mitzvot like a robot, it's better than not keeping it at all, but it's not getting the reward of actually keeping it.
So why does everyone get...
Whoa. Let me finish. Test. Don't be too tense. This is the gym and I can calm down. You see, that's why I can stop you. Let me finish. A person that keeps Torah mitzvot like a robot, those are the kind of Jews, unfortunately, that their structure of life is not based on God. A Jew that doesn't keep Torah mitzvot like a robot, that means he adds heart to it, he adds emotion to it, he adds desire to it, automatically you see he as a person, his Torah mitzvot are much different. The way he acts to people is much different. Pick it up and turn it on. What's the difference? How do I say this without hurting anyone's feelings? I'm trying to be very, very sensitive. But unfortunately, sometimes you can be.
You don't have to be
Say, you don't have to be politically correct, right? Say it the way it
We're
is.
Bukharis, we're immune to this stuff.
You're immune. I don't know if they're immune.
Nah, they all...
Not them, I'm talking about the other people.
Ah, yeah.
They're already immune. They've been with me for too long.
Exactly.
They're immune. They already know what it means to get
That's
shot
why
dead. If you go to a shul, right, and half of the shul members smoke pot, and the other half of the members just get drunk, and they talk about business 24/7, but they pray 3 times a day, they learn Torah with the rabbis there, they give tzedakah all the time. That shul, you have to pick your clothes up and run as fast as you can out of that shul. You have to just take it and run. Just run. Don't be part of that crowd. Don't be part of it at all. At all. Run. Stop, drop, and roll. You want to know why? They're not keeping Torah mitzvot. They're doing things that benefit themselves. They only do it because they enjoy doing it. They don't do it because God told them to do it. They do it because it's already robotic, it's systematic for them. Tell them one day don't smoke weed. Nothing wrong with it! Sure! What's the problem? You don't know how I serve God better! Are you joking with me? Who are you lying to? What was I born yesterday? I used to smoke weed. What am I, 5 years old for you? Don't tell me I serve God better. No, you don't. You don't. You serve God in your own illusion when you're high. You don't serve God better. You're not serving God. You're serving yourself in your own illusion. You have to find yourself a minyan, a surrounding that even chas shalom, let's say they do something bad, they know how to admit, I need help. I want Torah mitzvot. In their blood, when it comes out, doesn't come out blood. It comes out, how do I become a better Jew? How do I serve Hashem better? I want to be a dabuk, attached like this to God. When you're not in that surrounding, automatically everything is khafif. Khafif. So the wife doesn't keep it. What? Since when? I never understood this. I'm going outside. I can't fathom. Since when is tzniut for a woman above her elbow?
These days it's not even that.
Since when? I'm talking about religious women that cover their hair. Since when? I don't understand. I don't understand this garbage. Since when, in history of the Jewish people, did tzniut come on top of the elbow? Since when? Can someone explain this to me? Well, what is this nonsense? What is this? What are you wearing a kisur rosh and making a chilul Hashem b'farhesia? What are you doing? What are you doing? Since when is it above your knee? Since when? Since when? Where is this nonsense? These people are not keeping Torah mitzvot. They're serving themselves. They're Baalei Avodah Zarah. They serve only what's comfortable for them. When the people hear me say this, you're too fanatic. I'm not fanatic. I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew. That's what I am. That's exactly what I am. You don't keep Torah mitzvot. You serve only what's good for you. Excuse me, you're like a reform. Whatever was good for them back in Europe, that's what they kept. Conservatism too. Modern Orthodox falls under the same category, if you ask me. The same thing. I keep what I want and I don't keep what I don't want. We live in different times, Rabbi. No, we don't. It's the same thing. Different mask. It's either you want or you don't want. It's either it's important for you or it's not important for you. I'm not telling you to be fanatic. I'm not telling you to close your eyes to walk outside like that. I never said that. I think that's very bad. I think you should be normal. I think you should have conversations. You should talk. You should do business. I'm very for that. But don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't think you're doing good when you're not doing good. Don't live in an illusion that you created that you think is healthy. It's not healthy. Habibi, it's not healthy. And then these people cry, why are my kids like this? You're fake. You don't keep Torah mitzvot. That's not called keeping Torah mitzvot. You're not keeping Torah mitzvot. You're keeping yourself. You're a Baal Avodah Zarah. My Rebbe tells me this all the time. Those kind of people don't keep Torah mitzvot. Let's do baby steps, guys. Baby steps. You're doing baby steps for the past 10 years. What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of nonsense is this? What baby steps? I'll give you the smallest example, right? This is, for some people, this is a hachmara. For some people, this is stringent. Let's say, for example, Chalav Stam. OUD. You live in Africa or something? You can't find milk? What, you live in Uganda? You live in Colombia? You live in Mexico? Or you live in the border? You can't find Chal Yisrael milk, Chal Yisrael cheese, Chal Yisrael yogurt? You can't find it? What's the problem? What's the problem? Can you explain to me what the problem is?
They can't have Haagen-Dazs.
They can't have Haagen-Dazs? That's what it is? It's tava. It's all desire. It's all desire. They don't want to control their desire. They say, Rav Moshe gave a heter. No, he didn't. You don't know how to learn halacha. You don't know how to learn. I don't care which yeshiva you went to. I don't care how many years you learned in yeshiva. You don't know how to learn. You don't know how to learn. He didn't give a heter. Especially in America. He didn't give a heter. He didn't. He relied on the FDA and so on and so forth. Different countries you can't find, you could find. You're a big Baal Tala. Don't drink dairy. Don't drink it. You'll survive without a Haagen-Dazs. I promise to you. I promise. I used to love Chalav Stam. I used to love it. At the age 15, I said enough, zero, no more Chalav Stam. I used to live off Snickers and M&Ms and Clicks and what's that, the caramel one? Twigs, the small. I used to live off. This was my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 15-year-old kid, no bigger Baal Tava than a 15-year-old kid. That's it. Enough's enough. You took it, you throw it out, never again. I can't live without the coffee you make, Rabbi. I can't. I need that flavor. You're such a Baal Tava. You're such a. Imagine your wife one day says, I can't. I have to walk half naked outside. No, but I can't. What? This idioticness. Stupid. If you say you can't, your child is going to be 10 times worse. You have to wake up already, Rabbi Isai. You have to understand that only the strong survive. The strong survive and the weak will perish. That's exactly, you see the Nevi'im, the words of the prophets. People don't learn Navi. They learn Gemara 24/7, which is good. You should learn Gemara. You must learn Gemara every single day. But they don't learn Nevi'im. It's foolishness. Foolishness. The weak will perish and the strong will survive. Which side are you on? Are you part of the weak? Now, people always ask me today, I explained to someone today why long dating is the worst thing you can do in your life.
Why what?
Dating for long is the worst thing you can do for your life.
What's long? 6 months.
No, 3 months is already long. Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why? I want you to listen to this logic. When after you listen to this logic, I'm telling you, you're gonna change your mind. When a girl gets too comfortable with a guy, that this guy during his dating process is extremely nice, he only shows one side of himself. When she gets married, she's only expecting that kind of way. So her expectation during marriage is what? This guy is the best guy in the world. Not knowing that he has another side of him that is pretty not nice. So what happens? She gets too used to it. And then during the marriage, all the balagan happens. But if this guy was reserved, he took her out, he got to know her, he kept his distance, automatically, when she gets married, she's on her tippy toe. You want to know why? Because she still wants to impress. She still wants to make sure everything is proper. She's still not comfortable with him. She still doesn't know what ticks him off. She still doesn't know what's good and what's bad.
But what if those are the reasons later?
No. You want to know why not? I'll tell you why. Automatically she adjusts and she changes her derech to the structure of the man. But beforehand, if she already gets used to a certain way of you, she says, you used to be like that for 6, 7, 8, 10 years. Why should I change? You change! And the guy's now sucking his thumb. Like a monkey. Googa googa. Banana banana. So the men in this generation are stupid because they're allowing themselves. Let me explain something to you. And let me be very open with you right now. 99% of people can live with each other. 99. I'm telling you, this is a guy that gave marriage classes. How to find a wife or a husband. 1 second. 1 second. 99% of women can live with any man. 99%. You know what the problem is? We do things in the wrong order. We act like we're in retirement before we do the struggle of actually being married. That's the problem. What is this gift giving all the time, sugaring coating all the time? What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of crap is this? What kind of shtuyot, Rabbi? I'm telling you, I have 3 daughters at home. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling this right now. I'm telling this as a father's view, as a husband, as a man. When you get married, you have to have priorities. There's a woman that sees, a girl that sees a guy without priority, she takes advantage. She has to see his life is going to minyan. His life is learning Torah. His life is doing this, doing that. Automatically, she's going to be off his tuchas 24/7. But if the guy is home, doing nothing, her expectations are different. What's going to be? And suddenly one day, he becomes different and says, oh yeah, I want to go to learn Torah. No, you have to take me out every single night. You? What? You lost your brain? Are you psychotic? You crazy? You know who did this to themselves?
He did.
You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. You ruined the structure in the beginning. But I have to get to know her. My Habibi, I promise to you. I can even swear on the Sefer Torah, but I'm not going to. You will date this girl for 10 years. You'll live with her. You will live with her. For 10 years, you'll share even the same bed. Once you get married, you're going to realize it's someone totally different. I guarantee to you. But then it's too late because you already ruined it. Why they say this old saying, marry them when they're young, when they're blind, they don't know anything. It's such a true saying. Why? Because when they're young, they're willing to mold with any situation. They're willing to survive. They're willing just to let it go. You know, it's a proper saying. Our grandparents knew what they were saying. I promise to you, we think we're smart. No, we're not smart. I mean, we're stupider than a rock. Date for 10 years, I gotta get money, this and that. I call you money. You guys are, let's say, chas v'shalom, let's say you're 25, 30. What are you doing? I'm still looking for a job. I'm still trying to make money, Rabbi. I have to make bank before I get married. You only make bank once you get married. Until the responsibility doesn't hit you in the tuchas, you're never going to feel it. You need that responsibility. When you have that responsibility in your brain, that structure, automatically what comes to you? I have to hustle, I have to do, I have to provide, I have to make it, I have to. What happened? What happened? Responsibility hits you. But if you live your life like this, you're chilling. You're comfortable. People taking care of you. Your responsibilities, since when does a 19, 20-year-old have to drive a car that's costing them $1,000 a month just on expenses? How dumb does a human being need to be to invest in his money on a depreciating, evaluating product? It's like I'm going to tell you, go buy a wheel from Stone and leave, and maybe one day there won't be rubber. We'll use stones again as wheels. You're not going to tell me, Rabbi, you lost your brain. Why are you spending all your money on a car? Have you lost your mind? I never understood this. I want to be cool. Cool for who? For who? For who? For those girls that you don't want to marry? That's who you're being cool for? And they say, Rabbi, I can't find a good girl. You too poor. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. You're the only one to blame for, Habibi. No one else. You spend $1,000 on the car a month? Come on, man. It's bal tashchit. It's a question if you're throwing away money. It's garbage. You're throwing your money to garbage. You work hard for that money. What do? You buy a car. You buy a car that you don't need. You show off 1 week, 2 weeks, and then you become everyone's taxi driver. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. What are you doing? I'm driving my friend and doing it. Why do you do that? Because to pay it on yourself. Tupoi, mazginetu. Vehaborek ve'en bo mayim. Vehabor is your brain. The pit is empty and there is no water. You have no brain. What's there? Nahashim akravim. Scorpions and snakes are inside. Tavot. Garbage. Let me impress. Impress for what? Be yourself, habibi. Impress him. I promise you, impress him, he'll give you whatever you desire. Impress him, he's the creator of the world. He gives you everything you ever can imagine. It's him that's providing. We don't want that. We want to show off. Wow, who got the hottest wife? It's sickening. It's just disgusting. Imagine all your friends, all your boys are looking at you and not really looking at you. They want to look at your wife. Magid, disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. If that's the way you want to pursue your wife, what kind of crap is that? How does the Gemara say Masachet Chagigat? I forgot the name of the rabbi at the moment. When his wife would go out to a wedding, it would look like she's going out to buy groceries, and when at home it would look like she's going to a wedding. The rabbis asked him, "How come?" You know what he answered? He said, "What? She should go and impress other men? I'm coming home. She should impress me." You know when you make it? When you see your wife putting on makeup for you when you come home. Whatever the case is. Not when she's going out to a party. When she has to do that so much to impress, she's doing it because she wants attention. She's not getting it from you. That's a problem. How come we don't teach this? How can we say women are allowed to wear like this? Have all this open like they're putting on tefillin? Since when? Where does Rav Ovadia give this heter? When? Where does he give it? He gives 2 fingers all around. That's it. Not even. Finger and a half, a finger even. Since when? Since when? Why are we doing this to ourselves? You need the red pill, Rabbi Sai. You need to be a man. Being a man is having structure. This week's parasha, Paraduma, the red heifer. How come the red heifer has the power to cure people? To make someone that was tameh into tahor. Comes Zari and says because the para itself, the par, is the source of all negativity.
Oh,
The red cow. The red cow. That's why it was also a calf. But I didn't get into it right now. The red cow is the source of all negativity. It's only when you take something negative and put it together and makes it positive. Until you won't be able to overcome your challenges in your life, you'll never deserve to have the paraduma come to you. You have to face the paraduma, take your challenges and fight it.
How's the cow?
You have to fight it. I'm not going to get into it right now. It's such too deep of a concept. I'm going to explain to you, bring me Sidur, I'll tell you how par is it comes from the deen. Until you don't take your challenges, if it's the weed, if it's the drinking, if it's the girls, if it's the car, if it's only the money, if it's not waking up on time, if it's whatever it is, everyone knows his own path. If you're not going to face, value it, and fight it head on, you're not going to be able to grow. You'll be 50 years old with the same issues. The same issues, 50 years old. You need that? You have to fight it. You have to take that negativity and you got to fight it head on. That's the way you will find success in your life. I only can learn in a yeshiva when I'm in Israel. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. It's more convenient there, I agree. But if you're a person that wants to learn, you'll learn anywhere. If you're a person that wants success, you'll have success anywhere. You have to just tackle it. You have to just fight it. You have to build yourself up. That's the only advice I can give you. If you're not going to be ready, no one's going to ever be ready. No one's going to pay your bills. No one's going to feel bad for you. Remember, the day you die, you get forgotten. It's the beginning of the process of being forgotten. Your boy's not going to be there for you. Unfortunately, your wife and kids eventually are going to forget about you. Your boss is definitely not going to remember you. And you running your whole life based on everyone else's opinion. You know who's going to only remember you? The king and the God. Hashem. Hashem is the only one. So what do? We live our life running away from Him and not knowing He's the only one that cares for us. It's so sick. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. So change our way. Change your way of life. Fight it. Fight it. Take the paraduma hands on. Take it hands on. And become tahor. Purify yourself. Learn more Torah. Make a schedule. Go daven 3 times a day. What's the problem? What's the problem? There are apps that tell you minyanim in any place you are in the world. What's the problem? You're lazy. God is not your first priority. Your clientele is your first priority. So with this I'm going to finish. And I'm going to say that I do suggest everyone to double think their path in their life. The way you structure your life now, that's the way you're going to structure your family. Don't think for a second after you get married you're going to change. Whole lot of baloney. When I'm going to get married, I'm going to keep Shabbat. No, you're not. You're not. When I'm going to get married, I'm going to keep Tzniut. No, you're not. You're not. You're lying to yourself. You're not going to do it. Let's do it now. היום הרת העולם. אם לא עכשיו, אין מתי. If not now, then when? Who said you're going to wake up tomorrow? Who said you're going to walk outside and the car's not going to come and hit you? Who said this building's not going to break right now? Who said? Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting? Every day I hear another teenager, another 20-year-old dying. Every single day. Every day. Who said that's not us next? Chas v'shalom. Shouldn't be. Break the reality. Cut down on all of your desires. I promise to you, the day you stop doing all these desires, it's going to hurt for a week, 2, 3, 4. But then after 4 or 5 weeks, you stop thinking about it. It starts to become less on your mind. And suddenly, you'll look back and you'll say, I can't believe I used to do that. But I wasted my life like a loch all this time. I was literally like a couch potato. What the heck was I doing? How much can you get drunk? How much can you get high? Like, how much can you go and have relations with different girls? How much already? How much? Like, at the end you feel like, what's the point? There's no goal at the end. You're like an animal. You gotta do the change. I'm telling you, once you do it, your life is gonna be delicious. Delicious. Any questions? It's okay, you can ask.
No,
Go ahead,
you
man.
were saying something about like being a big Jew and everything. Oh, some people have hardships, right? They have some things that they're better at than not. Doesn't mean they're trying to be fake about it.
Give me an example.
No, just say someone.
What if someone who's
Whoa. Do.
No problem.
Tag team, go.
someone who's born into a not-religious family at all, obviously it's going to be a little harder for him to get someone.
That's not what I was talking about.
No, it's not.
This is what I was talking about. When someone is comfortable in their way of Torah mitzvot, that's a problem.
That they're already doing
Do
it.
you understand?
I understand.
When there's a Jew that is comfortable and what he's doing, that means he knows he doesn't make his man for Kriyat Shema. He knows and he's comfortable. He's okay. At least they put on tefillin. That's the problem. But if a guy wakes up in the morning and he looks at his watch and says, oh my God, I missed nets. I didn't go to the mikveh yet. I didn't daven before I went to go pray. I still can make a minyan. If that's not one in his brain, then there's a problem. Because he's too satisfied. I always tell my talmidim, if you don't marry a girl that is not satisfied on her Torah mitzvot,
What's the example of it?
she's not satisfied. She's If you marry a girl that's already satisfied with Torah mitzvot, you're in trouble. You have to find a girl that's thirsty to grow.
You don't know it though, brother.
You do know.
How?
When you go to Shadchanim, you know. When you go through a matchmaker, you know. If you're marrying a girl that's already satisfied, she's Ishkam Ser from Torah mitzvot, right? She's never going to grow. A big problem. You want to have a partner, a wife that's hungry. I want to grow more Torah, more mitzvot, more. You want to know why? You're going to have kids that are going to be not soldiers, but they're going to be, I don't know, another number. When a mother goes and tells her son, it's okay, it's fine, leave him alone, don't discipline him, he's just a baby. She's causing herself to go to the grave because of this child. I remember the broom getting knocked on my head by my mother. I remember it. If it wasn't for that broom, I would have been a bum today. I remember her beating me up, go to Shacharit.
Is it good to hit a kid?
No, I'm not saying it's good to hit the kid. I'm saying the view, she didn't whack me that my head skull is coming out. The point was that she was trying to say, you have to have Yirat Shamayim. She didn't hit me when she was upset. She didn't hit me because I didn't do something right. She got upset because I wasn't doing something right in the Torah mitzvot. She wasn't emotional about it like most mothers are. Oh my God, you disrespected me, I'm going to tell your father. She didn't do none of this 21st century garbage. She didn't do it. She didn't do that. She said, you're not going to Shacharit?
Peer pressure.
That's what she said. I remember the first time I wore jeans. I was, I don't know, 16 years old the first time I wore jeans. I only wore it for 2 years. And then I stopped wearing it. Or I was 15 years old and I stopped, stop. I took upon myself, I'm not going to wear jeans anymore. My mother, look how it's tzaddik it has to be. She made the world shake. How my son is wearing this garbage? I'm not telling you not to wear jeans. That's not the point. But what was her mind? Her mind was like, my son's Yirat Shamayim is going down. I'm not going to let this happen. She wasn't one of those mothers that said, Chad, yo, oh, you know, God, you know, it's going to be okay. It's going to be... What? We didn't bench? We left the house before benching? She would rip our heads off. But she didn't do it in a way that made us discouraged from Torah mitzvot. Why? Because we saw her herself reading Tehillim every day, davening 2-3 times a day, making sure my mother's house on Shabbat, when I used to come home already from school, which was 12 o'clock, everything was ready. All the food, all the salads, the house was clean. There wasn't like, oh, it's 5 minutes before Shabbat, oh, let's still clean. No. None of that. Already everything was done, neto done. She used to be on the couch reading Tehillim. You want to know why? That caused the Yirat Shamayim for the kids. That caused that everything we have to do, we saw Yirat Shamayim in the house. We knew it wasn't fake. That's my point. When a mother goes and screams at her son, you have to keep Torah mitzvot, and she's outside half naked, or she's not sanua, or she's out with the girlfriends and all this garbage, you know what happens? The son says, my mother's a fake. Why do I need this? That's where the problem's happen. That's why I say you have to find a girl that's still hungry, not satisfied with her Torah mitzvot. If she's satisfied, you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow. You need a wife that's going to say, let's go to a shiur Torah. Or in her spare time, instead of watching all this garbage, she puts a shiur Torah while she washes the dishes. She gets prepared. Everything she does for her kids, more than ani, wash, nega wash. The house is full of light and excitement and kiddusha. That's what you need. You don't need to be rich. Your richness is your wife and kids. No, it's not. You're saying that because you're not living that way. You're saying that because you can't fathom how you can live that way.
I tell you, I am. It's still hard, even though I'm doing it, but
it's too bad. Too bad. Breathing is hard, you know that? Ask the guys in Corona. Ask those guys that were in the respirator, how hard is it to breathe? They'll remember. It's hard, right? Can't breathe. Doing this is hard, really. It's really hard. Just we got used to it.
Just get used to it. Sir.
Don't get used to it.
No, get used to it.
You have to fight to go and achieve that way. I'm telling you, it's going to be much harder when your wife and your kids are going to do bebsani to you. They're not going to respect you. That's your own doing, my friend. I'm not telling you now you should be a dictator at home. That's not what I said. I'm not for that way at all.
Do yourself.
You yourself have to be that self-image. That's the point. When you and your wife are that image in the household, automatically your yotzecha, latzecha, your kids will learn from that. But if you have a guy that's faking it till he makes it, I think the kids are not going to pick up. Ah, you're funny. You're such a funny guy. The kids pick up very fast, my friend. And trust me, they're going to show you where efo adag mashtim, as they say in Hebrew. They'll make you run for your money. Don't be a faker. Make your life surrounded Torah mitzvot, but real. That's why you need a wife that's hungry for Torah mitzvot. And trust me, there are plenty of them. There are plenty of them. You know what the problem is? You're not like that. When you're going to be like that, you're going to attract a girl like that. That's what you need in your life. That's called being a fake. Chasam, not a fake, but being in that, I don't like to use that word really, but being too satisfied, being too comfortable, like the spies, how we started. They were too comfortable in their position, they didn't want change. That's not good. You need to be hungry. Ask any successful businessman. What he's going to say? I was hungry. I was hungry. Take your hunger for money, put it in the Torah mitzvah. It's a greater dividend, trust me. Up there, you're not going to take your millions with you. Even down here, you're not. Once you die and you're a millionaire, that's it. That's it. What are you going to have? Kids are going to fight for it. In 2 generations, they're going to lose everything. What's the tachlis? But if you have kids that have your Shamayim, God-fearing, respect you, you'll never be forgotten. You'll never be forgotten, ever, ever, ever. So what does a person need? He needs God. Keep Torah mitzvot. Learn Torah. Be shakur b'limdei Torah. There's nothing better than learning Torah. Nothing. There's nothing better than doing a mitzvah. Nothing. It's great. Why don't we feel that way? Because that's not our center of our life. Any other questions? No? Don't be shy. You can ask. How about you, Tzadikul? No? Go, say what you want to say. That's it? You're done? Finito? Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen v'amen.